Hi, everybody. My name is Sage Lewis, and today I wanted to talk to you about FACTS and the FACTS SIS Developer API. This is the process that we're going to go through today. It took like a week to get my API key or subscription key, and I'll talk about that more I think in a minute. But this is the flow that we're going to go through. I'm going to show you how FACTS SIS, how you set up a API key there. I'm going to show you how to get your developer API key or the subscription key in the developer. Then we're going to create a script in Postman that I'm going to give you I can give you the code if you want. Yeah, I'll give you the code. And then we're going to connect that to Zapier, and then in our case, we're going to input inquiry people into constant contact. So that is the process that we're going to go through today. So first of all, this is where we are in in FACTS is under over on the left-hand side, we're in System, Configuration, and then API Configuration, okay? So this is where you create an API key, and you can create multiple API keys. And you can set up what an API key does. Like, it can have none on academic, but read and write on admissions. So that's a really nice setup right there. But you're going to, that's, I would say, maybe the first thing to do. Then the next thing you need to do is you need to go over to developers.factsmgt.com and get an account over here. And you are going to have to apply for one, and you fill this out, and it is not automated. So when I filled this out to ask for a API code, I thought I would get it like right away, but that is not how it works. I think they just maybe do it in batches or something like that. So it probably, in my case, took me about a week, I think, to get my subscription key. But then when I did, then you're going to, under Profile, you're going to get a subscription key that is here, okay? So that is ultimately the process of how to at least get up and running. So you get your subscription key here. Then you're going to want to you're going to want to record that somewhere, and then you get your FACTS API key, and that then can lead you to testing or doing whatever you want with the API at FACTS. And so this is a setup here at Postman. If you're not familiar with APIs, Postman is the tool for you. Just learn how to use Postman. It's really easy to do. You just basically create you'll create a collection, and then you put things in your collection. So, like, for example, I have a collection called FACTS, and I've tested all of these different a lot of the different APIs, and it's really cool. But in this case, what I wanted to do was I wanted to pull out inquiries and put them into Zapier, which would then allow me to put them in our case constant contact. So what you want to do is you create a request. So you basically have a collection, and then you have a request. So like this is your request, and this is what it looks like when it's blank, and you're going to do gets and posts, and those are the two big ones I think most people do. And if you can imagine getting stuff, you get stuff back from the API, and or the post means you post things using the API, and that's what in this case I'm using a get, and you will find the different API URLs in the documentation, but like you can see here, like, it's api.facts.mgt.com/classes/people/academics, and then for me, I was really focused on admissions inquiry form. So you're just going to have to look at the documentation. I think I forget where that is. Let's see here. It's right here under development. So you're gonna, when you're dealing with when you're dealing with APIs, it's all about the documentation, and I feel like the documentation is pretty good. So, they have documentations, and then I forgot to mention you buy a plan. I'm using the basic plan, which is free. So you want to go through this, you want to get comfortable with the documentation of the API. And then in APIs, you come over here and you can see all the different gets, and you can try it. This is a nice feature here. The try it always crashed for me, but at least you can see what the API URLs are. And it'll show you what goes in the header. Like, you need your subscription key, which you get as the developer, and then you need your FACTS API key, which comes from your FACTS SIS account, okay? And so, you just kind of go through here. They have tons and tons of stuff that you can pull from the API. Would it be nice if they connect this one day to Zapier? Hell yeah, it would be nice, because this is not easy to do. It takes some time, but at any rate, you're going to just want to get familiar with these different parameters and headers, and again, if you go to Postman, you can try all of these things, and basically you're going to put your you're going to have so you're going to have different parameters, and then parameters in Postman get added to the URL up here. You don't need an authorization. Like, a lot of times you'll use a bearer token with APIs, but this does not have that. What you do here instead is you put these keys in the headers. So the subscription key and the API key go in the headers, and then you create a script that does what you want it to do. So, and I would say that ChatGPT 4 or 4.0 is definitely your friend on this. You just, tell it what you want it to do, and that's how I built this script. If you want my code, you're welcome to have it. But truthfully, you're going to build a script. You just go to ChatGPT and you're like, "Hey, ChatGPT, I'm in Postman. Here's my, here's my API. Here are my header, subscription and API keys. Make me a script that does blah, blah, blah." And then just, when you get stuck, you're like, "I don't understand." And it'll walk you through the whole thing. So what I have created here is I have created a get that is for Zapier. And what I did in Zapier was I made a zap, and it starts with catching a webhook, okay? And you'll get a webhook URL from Zapier, and that goes in your code here in this case in Postman. So that Zapier webhook goes right here, okay? So you can see how there's all this interlinking that goes on. But then, and now what I've done here is I have set this up. I've created a collection that runs every morning, scheduled, okay, in Postman. I have a collection. I want to delete this because I don't want it to run this. I have a collection that runs every day at 7 a.m. And what it's doing is it is running, well, theoretically, I could have a whole bunch of these scripts, right, in this collection, and it would run them all. And so what I'm going to do here is if I click send, okay, this is going to go here, and you can test this with the console if you want. Let's see here, the console, where is it? Console. Oh, wait. Where is it? I know it's here. You're probably like, it's right there. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's right there. So, if you use, it's under view and console, you can look and see how it did. It'll also show you the payload that got sent out. And then if you go to your Zapier, and you test it, you have to run it first. You send it in Postman, and then you click Find New Records, and you'll see that these records should come over, okay? So again, the idea is you create a script in Postman that has your Zapier webhook, right? And when you run the script in Postman, that tells Zapier to be like, hey, there's stuff coming over. And then what I did here was I added in, I made in my Zap, in my case we use Constant Contact, and I did find or create a contact, and then I connected it to our Constant Contact. I added it to a list, and I will tell you this. Here's a pro tip. I wanted to tag it, and in my inquiry form, we organize people by birth year. Like it's June 1st of one year to May 31st the next year. And that's we have those tags. Well, you can't just put those tags in Constant Contact. You have to find out what the ID of those tags are. And what's cool is, again, thanks to ChatGPT, when I run this script, when my data from my inquiry form from FACTS inquiry comes over and it says, okay, birth year is June 1st, 2009 to February 31st, 2010, convert it to this ID, okay? And that's why I don't really want to show, this is very specific to my needs. And really, truly, we are in a world now where you don't use my code. Build custom code with ChatGPT. Just do it. I also am into Cursor right now, Cursor AI. That's a pretty good tool. So at any rate, that is my workflow. I would caution you that, like, when I first did this, I sent all my inquiries over to Zapier, and I ran out of actions or whatever they're called. I burnt through everything. So, like, for example, in my code, tell ChatGPT that you only want the last 24 hours, because what I'm doing here is I'm just running these. I'm running this Postman script every morning at 7 a.m. and I only need the leads from the last 24 hours. So that, is, I think, important, because if you don't do that, it's going to send every lead over, and every lead becomes a zap. So there's that. All right. I think I explained that well enough, or at least maybe enough to help you get started. The API at FACTS is really great. FACTS, if you're listening, please give us Zapier. Please, please, please. It took me all day to do that. Shouldn't take me all day to do that kind of stuff. But I got to learn about the FACTS API, which is pretty daggone awesome. All right. I hope that helped. Have a great day.